There is one thing I have always believed. Ghosts never harm children. But on the night when 3 knives were thrown out of the pillow, the mosquito net rope snapped as if someone had cut it. I began to doubt everything. Especially when I foolishly challenged Aunt Two's spirit. "Auntie, why don't you smile at me once?" It all started with an unjust beating. That morning, my mother slapped me, the first and only slap in my life. Not because I skipped school or got into a fight, but because I dared to joke with the white shadow squatting in the kitchen corner at 2 a.m. I saw Aunt Tiu come home so happy, I babbled when my mother looked in horror at the 4 broken mosquito net ropes. To appease my mother, I even made up a story that Aunt Tiu smiled at me, grinning like a hungry ghost. But that night, when my mother placed 3 knives with red crosses painted on them under our pillows, I suddenly understood. Adults fear ghosts in a different way than children. They are not afraid of the white shadows playing, but afraid of the thing behind Aunt Tu's death, the thing that until now makes the landlady pale every time she mentions it. When I was a kid, sometimes Dad would make me lie on the bed and whip my butt with a feather duster, but Mom almost never hit me. That day, when she slapped me, I knew she was really angry, so I rubbed my face and quickly said to calm her down, "Mom, I saw Aunt Tu's spirit come back looking very cheerful." She didn't try to scare us at all, so that's why I was joking around with her. Hearing that, my mom asked in surprise. She snapped all 4 of the cords holding up the mosquito net, "And you're telling me Aunt Tu's ghost came back cheerful?" Seeing she had calmed down a bit, I kinda made something up. Well, when the mosquito net fell down, I saw Aunt Tiu smiling at me. "Mom." She smiled like this. Then I scrunched up my nose, grinned quickly and bared my teeth, which made my mom burst into laughter. And once she laughed, she wasn't angry anymore. She said, "You little monkey, always making stuff up. Hurry and eat, or you'll be late for school." I thought that was the end of it, but that night, when she gave us the Guigo's milk can, she also handed me 3 knives. Each one had a red cross marked on it. With a serious face, she said, "Someone told me to use lime from beetle leaves to draw a cross on the blade. Then you sleep with it under your pillow, and the ghost will be scared and won't bother you. So each of you take 1 knife and put it under your pillow tonight. You won't see anything this time. And the alarm clock, keep it inside the mosquito net at the head of the bed. When it rings, you need to wake up right away. Don't sleep through it like this morning and scare me half to death." It was the first time Mom gave us weapons, so all 3 of us brothers were thrilled. We eagerly held out our hands to take the knives, grinning from ear to ear, which made Mom's tense face soften. She shook her head and said, "You kids are so innocent, don't even know what fear is. If a ghost saw your monkey grins, it'd probably get annoyed and leave." That night, while I was fast asleep, my 2 younger brothers nudged me awake again. I thought they just wanted water, so I reached around for the milk can, but Kwang, the older of my 2 younger brothers, nudged me and pointed toward the kitchen. I looked closely and saw the shadow of a woman in a white albalba sitting with her back to us. From inside the net, I checked the French-made jazz clock, which had glowing numbers. It was exactly 2 a.m. again, just like the night before. The 3 of us went into battle mode by lying flat on our stomachs, covering ourselves up to our necks, some even covering their heads to hide. We stayed perfectly still, watching the ghost for about 5 minutes. She didn't move, just sat there with her back to us in her white outfit. Losing patience, I cleared my throat and raised my voice. "Aunt Tiu, you're back again tonight." Immediately, the strange figure, I should say Aunt Tu's ghost, stood up sharply, turned her face toward me, and just like the night before, she hunched her shoulders, lowered her head, and started glaring at me while walking sideways like a crab toward us. In the dim light, we could only see her white albalba and a pale, half-visible face. I squinted, trying to see what this ghost really looked like. But she kept her head lowered, her shoulders hunched up covering her chin, so I couldn't see if she had fangs or not. All I could see were her piercing, glowing eyes glaring at us. Honestly, it didn't look too scary. I figured maybe this ghost Aunt Tiu was just trying to spook us, walking in such a weird way. But it wasn't frightening, it was just weird. I was still thinking that when she got right up next to our bed. We had our hands under our chins, necks stretched up as high as we could, trying to get a better look at her face. The bed was already high, and the mosquito net was hung even higher, but somehow Aunt Tiu still stood a whole foot above the top of the net. When I saw her face faintly glowing above the net, I suddenly remembered how I had made stuff up to Mom earlier. So I asked, "Auntie, you don't glare at me anymore. Can you smile for me just once?" As soon as I said that, her eyes flashed with a red glow. Later, I couldn't tell if the glow came from her or was just the reflection of the red oil lamp by the water table. Then suddenly, the mosquito net snapped and fell down. Darkness dropped like a curtain, and of course, all three of us blacked out, falling into sleep instantly, peacefully, and so quickly that none of us even had time to feel afraid. But the one who got scared the most was my mom. Poor woman, when she came down from the main house the next morning and reached the threshold of the kitchen area, she immediately saw the 3 knives she had watched us tuck under our pillows the night before, now just lying scattered across the doorway. She froze. She didn't dare step over the knives, just leaned over to look toward our bed, about 5 meters away, and saw that the mosquito net had snapped again, all 4 cords torn. Terrified, she screamed for the landlady, Aunt Nom, to come running. When Aunt Nom arrived, the two of them finally worked up the courage to step over the knives and walk over to wake us. My mom frantically asked, "The net's torn again. Did you kids see anything last night?" I answered, "Same as the night before, Mom." Auntie Yu came back, rose up really high, and when she got near the bed, the net suddenly snapped and fell. My mom turned to Aunt Nom and said, "Ever since we moved in here, my son has seen Aunt Tu's ghost appear in the kitchen every night. 2 nights in a row now, she's torn their net. Last night I told them to hide 3 knives under their pillows, and just now you saw it, something brought them out and left them right at the doorway. I have to ask, did Sister Tu die here and now she keeps haunting this place?" Aunt Nom turned pale and stammered, I don't know. I've never seen her ghost or anything. I have to go to the fields. Someone's coming today to help harvest the greens." She turned on her heel and walked off in a huff, leaving my mom fuming, her face flushed red with anger. She rushed us to wash our faces and eat breakfast, saying she was going to find someone who could call Dad and tell him to come home immediately. This part ends here. See you tomorrow.